Keith, do you want to kick us off, please?
Very good to see you. You said on Saturday that you were absolutely raging after that performance. You've had a couple of days to sort of stew on it. How are you feeling now?
Better. Saturday and Sunday, as I said, were really difficult. We got in on Monday morning and let's just say we had a long chat, and I heard my views, so did my staff, and so did the players, which I was happy with, because I've said before, I think we've been too quiet, so it was good. And then we got to training on Monday, obviously, to prepare for this game tomorrow night.
We know how you feel about it, given what you've said sort of on multiple occasions now, but from what the players said to you, you say you're happy with that. Could you give us a sort of inclination as to what you got back from them that's made you a bit more positive?
I would rather keep it in-house, if I'm being honest with you, but I just thought at the time was right to go and spend a bit of time with them, go through a lot of things that I'm clearly wasn't happy with, and it's good to get their point of view as well, because we really need to get to the bottom of it, because it's been a real issue. But as I said, I came out of the meeting, training was bubbly on Monday. That's what I want. I don't want MD moping about and being unhappy. There's a lot of things said. And then again, we had a good training session on Tuesday. We're totally clear in what way we're going to approach the rest of the season, not just tomorrow night. And today's session, again, I come away from really happy with.
Can you give us an idea as to how you're going to approach the rest of the season?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask that. You'll see 75 minutes before. You'll see when the team comes out, and you'll see when the game starts.
And just finally from me, it is the $1 million question, but are you able to, you've been at the door for a couple of months now, are you able to put a finger on why you're getting these mixed performances, the highs to the really low?
I've got a good idea, and that's why I done a lot of thinking over the weekend, and that's why I held a real good meeting with my group of players and my staff. And as I said, there was a lot of things that came out which was good, because I want people to be opinionated, I want people to debate with each other, and I found it really helpful. And now, hopefully going forward, I'll start to see a bit more consistency, because that's something that we've certainly not showed over the season. We've done it, played really well, if I'm being honest with you, in some games. In other games, it's just been a total different team, and that's something that, as I said, that hopefully we've got to the bottom of. We can move on. That's in the past now, and we need to obviously look forward to the future.
Barry, one of the big things that I picked up on watching that performance again on Saturday was how negative the team becomes within itself. Mm-hmm. Individuals will not try and break lines, they'll not try and be aggressive in forward passing and things, and they seem to come right into their shell, which means they go backwards, side to side, easy things with the ball. Mm-hmm. Having analysed that, do you agree with that, and how do you fix that?
Yeah, I think it affects them when you go a goal down early on, or a mistake happens within the team. I think it affects the team, and I keep saying to them, there's plenty of minutes left in the game, and I want to see players go and take the ball in difficult situations. Look, I can accept mistakes and I can accept poor performances, but what I can't accept is people going and wanting the ball in difficult circumstances, and that's something we've spoken about at length. And as I said, hopefully going forward you'll see a difference, but the proof will be in the pudding come tomorrow night. But I'm expecting a total different performance tomorrow night, and it's not just in European games as well. I know what you're talking about domestically. 5 games without a win at Ibrox, it's just nowhere near good enough.
The second thing I want to ask you as well is there's been obviously a lot highlighted on individual performances. Uh-huh. One of the biggest ones, obviously, the goalkeeper, and at the other end, the striker. Yep. Cyriel, I think his conversion rate in the last 3 games is 1 in 24 chances. Mm-hmm. At what point do you decide, yeah, it's great that we're getting in positions and things, but that you have to switch up? If you have Danilo sitting there that you've not really given a chance to yet, are you considering maybe game time for him?
In terms of Cyriel, I would be more concerned if Cyriel Dessers didn't get into the positions. That's what I've been concerned about. In terms of, am I considering other people to play? Of course I told you on Saturday that there will be some changes. You just need to wait to see what the changes are tomorrow night. But listen, I've told everybody now, there's places up for grabs. You need to, when you go into my team and you play, you need to earn your right to play in the team. And I've had to make, or I probably will have to make, some difficult decisions going forward. I've had to make some difficult decisions since I've come into the job. But it's one thing I'm not afraid to do, to try and better the team. But I've got a job to pick the 11 that I think is the 11 that will go and win the game. And that's what I've done for tomorrow night.
Gabs?
Alright, looking ahead to tomorrow night, the Europa League's been a shining light in the season, this club so far. How important is it for you and for everyone here that you try everything to reach that semi-final?
First and foremost, I think European games have been at a high level for Rangers this season. They've performed really well, and what an opportunity they've got. Started watching Bilbao Monday morning. I don't know how many games now we've watched as a staff. They're a very good team. We're under no illusions that it's going to be a tough task. So we've worked hard over the last couple of days on what we were going to set up in terms of stopping them dictating the game, because we're at home and we have to dictate the game to them. We have to take the game to Bilbao. So yeah, we're set up, and we're going to give it everything to try and get a good result to take over there next Thursday.
Just the gentleman at the back, please, Barry, your phones.
Where is it?
Mr.
Sorry.
Good afternoon, José Manuel Monte, Onda Vasca, Vizcaya. ¿Dónde va a estar el partido? ¿En lo físico? ¿En lo técnico? ¿En una mezcla de todo?
I think it will be a mixture of the three that you just mentioned there. Physical, we have to be more physical in our game. Technically, I think we've got some good players, but so are Bilbao. So I think it will be a mixture. We need to bring a mixture of the three things that I've just mentioned there to the game to try and obviously get a positive result to take over there next Thursday.
Barry, can I ask you about Jack Butland, your last man there? I mean, is that one of the big decisions you've got to make? Have you had a conversation with him specifically? And where do you think his head is at right now?
I'm not going to say whether I've had a conversation with Jack or any other player. You just need to find out. Listen, I'm not going to sit up here and tell you this is who I'm going to play and this is the formation I'm going to play. I'd be crazy to do that. So look, we'll just need to wait and see the decisions that are going to be made for tomorrow night. But what I will do is I'll make a decision based on what I think is right for us to get a positive result. And in terms of players make mistakes and players maybe underperforming, look, that's part and parcel of football. It's tough at times. Look, I've been through many stages myself, and there is a few players maybe not playing at a level what they would want and what I would expect. But in terms of changes, look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you what's going to be happening.
Is it fair to say, though, Barry, that's something you're having to think about, or because it's a goalkeeper, is that a different?
I'm having to think about the full team, Robert. I'm having to think about the full team. I said that on Saturday when I come up and done my presser. I was angry, I was frustrated, I was a mixture of emotions. I thought I raised some of that out of our game, but look, it was clear. It was clear as day that you could see that there's some issues that we had to sort. And hopefully the positive week we've had, the positive 3 days we've had together, we'll see that difference tomorrow night.
Do you think, finally, for me, do you think that players have seen the anger that you've shown in the back of the weekend, and is that maybe going to get the response that you're looking for? Because they've seen in your eyes what it kind of means to you and what it should mean to them?
Yeah, not just me, my staff as well and the supporters. I mean, the place emptied on Saturday, and when I'm standing at the touchline, that's tough. That's a sore one to take when you see your own supporters, and do you know what? I can't blame them. So, us as a group, me as a manager, we're the only people that can do something about that.
Swanee.
Barry, I know it's a different competition and different teams, but obviously one of your old colleagues and teammates, Mikel Arteta, last night, what Arsenal manager, do you take inspiration from old colleagues and friends and teammates who do special things like that? Would you watch something like that last night and get inspired by it?
I never even watched the game last night. You know what I was watching last night? Yeah? I was watching Athletic Bilbao, that's what I was watching. But I seen the result late on last night. Look, he's done a brilliant job. What a result from against clearly the favourites to win the Champions League. Do I take inspiration for that? Listen, it's great to see ex-teammates in jobs where they're under pressure to win games. Brilliant to see. But my only focus is on this club here and making sure that I get a reaction from what we all seen on Saturday.
Gentleman at the back.
Again.
Okay.
You told us that Athletic is an incredible team. What worries you more about the Athletic? What worries you more about Athletic?
Look, they've got, in my opinion, they've got quality all over the team. Certainly in the wide areas, you've got the two brothers Williams. They're going to be a real handful. But I look at midfield, technically very good, very hard working, defensively really solid. So we know as a group of players that we have to be at the top of our game to try and get a result.
Barry, obviously you said you'd watched all of Rangers games before you came into the club. You know, you saw them against Spurs and Man United and Lyon. How do Bilbao compare to them?
Good question. Yeah, I would probably say they're the favourites for the competition. Favourites for the competition. So we know we've got it's a tough ask for us. But these games, I keep going back to it, as a footballer, as a coaching staff, as a manager, these are the games you want to be involved in. You want to go and pit your wits against some of the best, and I think they've got real quality in their team. And I've said that to the players over the last couple of days. This is what being a footballer's all about. These big nights at Ibrox, the fans coming in their support, playing under the floodlights, can't get any better.
Just a few more guys, John.
But he said before the last round that Fenerbahce were going to be a step up on what they'd faced, or Rangers had faced previously.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us an idea where you see Bilbao in relation to Fenerbahce?
A step up again. That's me being straight, a step up again. I watched both of them played each other. Watched that game. Look, Fenerbahce, in my opinion, were, as I said, one of the favourites. But when you go and you watch this team, as I said, they've got a very British style about them. They can go and play out for the back, but also they're not scared to go long. So we need to be ready for all aspects of that. Can we stop them playing out? If they go long, can we be physical against them and make sure we're handling the runners? So these are all the different scenarios over the last couple of days that we went through. And the guys are clear in what they have to do to try and get a positive result tomorrow.
Barry, you mentioned the sort of issues that needing addressed and the changes you may have to make. I remember you mentioned on Saturday that wasn't a Rangers team that you saw. Is there a mental aspect to that? And is this team, do you feel mentally strong enough to perform, be a Rangers team, not just now, but going forward as well?
I've seen aspects in certain games mentally strong, but other games they're just way off it. You can't be like that. You can't. It's not just a switch that you can turn off and on, and that's the case. That's what we've done. As I said, the big games are the ones generally are the easy ones that you don't really need to motivate. It's the other games that's became a real issue, and that's something again that we spoke about as a group at length, and hopefully we've got to the bottom of it. Sorry, should I say?
Martin and Chris to finish, please.
Barry, you talked about the changes that you might make, and obviously you won't go into detail on that. Has there been any temptation to go with the same guys, or is it just a case of you've maybe had enough?
Yeah, there is that part as well, that when you give such a poor performance, that you'll go and give them another chance. There's also thoughts that have gone through my head that do I need to change it, whether that's personnel, whether that's system. And as I said to you after the game, it was a long couple of days for me, but I was more than prepared to make sure I get this right. I need to sort this. I'm the guy that's sitting in the hot seat tonight, just now, and I'm the guy that's tasked with making sure that we start to get results on a consistent basis, because I keep going back to it. That's been the Achilles heel all season. There's been issues, and clearly when I thought that I was getting there, obviously we suffered that result, and we give that sort of performance. So as I said, there's been a lot of things going through my head. I've went and made a decision which will be in my shoulders, and then we'll hopefully see a real positive performance and result from what way I'm going to go about it.
Barry, you mentioned the fans in the crowd a couple of times. Can you still count on that backing after 5 successive defeats here? And is there a fear from your perspective that the crowd could actually work against you rather than for you on a night like this, given what you've seen and what they've experienced all week?
I've no fear in terms of them coming and supporting us at the start of the game, but we have to dictate from the stands. We need to go and give a performance, and if we do that, then the fans will get right behind us. And as I said, I've no issue. That was tough, standing in the touchlines, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, watching the place empty. I can't be having that. My players can't be having that. That's a sore one to take, and that's been in the back of my mind since Saturday. So I'll go back to what I said. Myself, my staff and the players, we're the only ones that can affect that now going forward. So when you come into certain games, I honestly believe that fans can't accept you no playing at the level, but what they can't accept is seeing a team dig deep, run harder, tackle harder, all the things that I mentioned on Saturday. And that's what I have to see from my team going forward. Because if that's not going to be the case, then you're not going to be in the team.
Thank you, everyone.
Cheers, guys.